Story came out Friday. Mark Houck, along with Ryan Marie Houck, 7 children. Mark's a well-known pro-life author, sidewalk counselor, father of 7. And thank goodness the SWAT team came into his house. Yes. Came into his house, broke the door down, scared the hell out of the family, and he is in jail today. Apparently, he violated the FACE Act. Now, I wanted to understand exactly what the FACE Act is, so I looked it up. Let me see if I can find it here. FACE Act. No, it was moved. That's helpful. So the FACE Act... Basically, what the FACE Act is, I don't know where it was moved to, but basically the FACE Act is something that the local governments and even the federal government can bring up charges on if you are trying to block somebody from going into an abortion clinic.
The freedom of access to clinic entrances.
Okay,
FACE.
Thank you. Oh, freedom, yeah, okay. I was like, what is the... Can we stop naming them stupid names?
Are we so dumb we need to summarize them? We are.
Okay, so you can't block somebody from having access. Well, he didn't block anybody from having access. There was another street performer, somebody else who was screaming at the other side, and he and his son were there, and they were praying, and this activist who was not going into the Planned Parenthood, wasn't escorting anybody. He starts screaming at Mark and his son. And not sure exactly what happened, but it got to a place to where this guy had cornered Mark's son. And Mark said, back off. The guy doesn't back off, so he shoves Mark. Now, word is this guy's what do they call him? A tumbler? I think he's a guy who, if you touch him, he falls down.
A flopper.
Oh my gosh, a flopper.
He's like the LeBron James of abortion clinics.
Okay, apparently.
Allegedly.
Yes, thank you. So the police come and they arrest the father of 7 for pushing this man to the ground. Planned Parenthood has got it all on tape. They got it on tape. So it goes to trial. And the case is dismissed. Wait a minute. I haven't heard that part of the story. The case was dismissed. I thought the FBI. Oh, yeah. The Justice Department heard about this case and thought it was so egregious that if the local police and state police won't do anything about it, we certainly will. So they went in, kicking and screaming into this house of this family. They 25 or 30 FBI agents swarm the property, 15 vehicles. It's 7 o'clock in the morning. They surround the house with rifles in firing position, and they start pounding on the door, yelling for the family to open up the door. And he approaches. Now, the kids are upstairs. Everybody's screaming and crying. And he's telling them to calm down, and he's trying to calm the FBI down as well. He says, please, I am going to open the door, but please, my children are in the home. I have 7 babies in the house. And they just kept pounding and screaming. The FBI did. When he opened the door, according to him, they had big, huge rifles pointed at him and pointed at Mom. And then they went into the house and were pointing them throughout the house. When they came in, they ordered the kids to stay upstairs. The staircase is open, so the kids were all at the top of the stairs, which faces the front door. I was on the stairs as well, coming down. Kids were all just screaming. It was very scary and traumatic. After asking why they were at the house, the agent said that there had been there to arrest Mark. When Mom asked for their warrant, they said that they were going to take him whether they had a warrant or not. when she said, that's kidnapping. You can't just come into a person's house and kidnap them at gunpoint. They agreed to get the warrant for her from one of the vehicles. Oh, good. At this point, Mark asked her to get him a sweatshirt and his rosary beads. When she returned, they had already loaded him up into the vehicle. Now, what did this guy do again that warranted this? Our friends who voted for Democrats, is this the America you want? Any friend who votes differently, any American citizen that votes differently, do you want a guy getting his door kicked in after the charges were dismissed in court? Do you want the FBI kicking down his door for pushing a guy who was yelling at his son, pushing him down to the ground? I'm not for violence. He's not for violence. He's never been violent before. It was a dad responding. The court dismisses it. Is this the America you want? Because once you get out of line, once you decide, if we don't all stand together now, you're not going to make it. You'll be the one finishing the poem. When they came for me, there was no one left. You will be the one finishing the poem. You have to stand up now. We have to stand up together and say, the Department of Justice and the FBI is completely out of control. I don't think the Postal Service should be spying on American people. Another whistleblower has come out from the FBI to warn about the politicalization of the FBI, saying the Bureau is spying on law-abiding citizens and that many of its domestic counterterrorism cases are tantamount to entrapment. Another FBI agent is coming out and saying this now. There's an interview with the Washington Times. Quote, my team was deployed 20 or 25 different high-profile national terrorism organizations investigating. What I saw is the counterterrorism investigations is always and unequivocally morally equivalent to entrapment, even if there's legal definition that allows them to skirt that. They are using every tool. Isn't this what people did to Martin Luther King? Isn't this what people did when the government was completely out of control in the past? And isn't this exactly what others did to their political enemies in every country that has ever been run by thugs? I still believe in America. I still believe in my neighbor. I still believe in the neighbor who votes differently than me. I think that there are a lot of people that are feeling it now, but they don't know what to do. And they don't know if they want to lose all their friends, their status, because they're not really sure. Reassure them that you're not the crazy one. Reassure them. Don't try to change their mind. Just ask them questions. Are you really for the transgenders? You're really okay with hospitals mutilating young children when there is no scientific proof that this is good? In fact, if you're trying to stop suicides, this makes suicides worse? I don't understand. And even if you're for that, help me out on the on the trans library parties. I'm not for banning books. I don't want to ban books at libraries. Books where in a children's section at a school, yeah, there are books. I'm not going to put a Playboy there. You wouldn't put a Playboy there. Then why would you put this? It's much more explicit than a Playboy. And it's showing kids how to engage in all kinds of different sex. For first grade, third grade, really? You're for that now? Wake your friends up. Wake them up. Because first they came for the January 6th protesters, even the peaceful ones, and they charged them with parading, and I didn't speak out. Then they came for the gun rights supporters, and I didn't speak out because I wasn't a gun owner. Then they came for the pro-life activists, and I didn't speak out or stand up because, yeah, I'm pro-life, but I'm not an activist. Now they come for people who voted for Trump, but I didn't vote for Trump. I got news for you. That's 50% of the nation. You add in the hatred of white people, Asians, cisgender, and gays that don't support trans, shown in libraries. That's an awful lot of people. Who will be left to defend you?